There is a war being fought right now that most people cannot see. It does not take place on any battlefield marked on a map. It does not involve weapons made of steel or armies dressed in uniform. This war is fought in the unseen realm, in the spaces between thought and action, between faith and doubt, between light and darkness. The Bible makes this unmistakably clear, and nowhere is it more powerfully illustrated than in the book of Daniel, the 10th chapter, where a single man's prayer set off a cosmic confrontation that shook the heavens themselves. Daniel, a man of deep faith and unwavering devotion, had been mourning and fasting for 3 full weeks. He ate no pleasant bread, no meat, no wine touched his lips. He was seeking understanding from God, crying out with everything within him. Then, on the 24th day, as he stood by the great river Hiddekel, a figure appeared before him. The description was unlike anything human. His body was like beryl, his face like lightning, his eyes like lamps of fire, his arms and feet like polished brass, and his voice like the sound of a multitude. The men with Daniel could not see the vision, yet they trembled and fled. Daniel himself was left alone, his strength completely drained, his face pressed to the ground. The messenger then spoke words that have echoed through centuries of spiritual understanding. He said, "Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand, and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days." This is the staggering truth buried in those verses. Daniel's prayer had been heard on the very first day he prayed, yet the answer was delayed for 21 days because of a spiritual battle raging in the unseen realm. A demonic principality, referred to as the Prince of Persia, had been actively resisting the angelic messenger sent from the throne of God. The messenger continued, revealing that it was not until Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help that the breakthrough finally arrived. Michael is identified elsewhere in Scripture as the great archangel, the warrior of heaven, the one who stands guard over God's people. His intervention turned the tide. This passage tears back the curtain on what is happening behind every unanswered prayer, every prolonged season of waiting, every moment when heaven seems silent. The silence is not absence, the delay is not denial. There is a battle being waged on your behalf in dimensions beyond human sight. The Apostle Paul, writing to the church at Ephesus, echoes this same reality with unmistakable urgency. In Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 12, he writes, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Paul was not speaking in metaphor. He was describing an active, organized, hierarchical system of spiritual opposition that every believer faces. What Daniel's story and Paul's instruction together reveal is that spiritual warfare is not reserved for the extraordinary. It is the daily reality of every person who chooses to walk in faith. Your prayers are not disappearing into empty air. They are rising before God, triggering responses in the heavenly realm and setting angels in motion. The enemy fights hardest when breakthrough is closest. Daniel did not stop praying. He did not abandon his fast. He pressed through 21 days of apparent silence, and heaven moved. That same persistence, rooted in faith and fueled by Scripture, is your greatest weapon in the war that never sleeps.